GameStop stock price has held a very strong last couple day push, pushing closer to that $23 level. Should we expect that ultimate upside and short squeeze right back towards these 27, 20, and $30 levels? Or are the bears going to continue to push stock price lower? My name is Dylan from Dylan's Trades. We're going to break down this equation unbiasedly, as always. First, going to the weekly analysis to get a very long-term perspective within stock price. Then peeling back the more short and medium term to get a very comprehensive price analysis, where stock price will go, price prediction, targets, and much more. So, alrighty, guys, really nice movement here. I mean, just straight away as a technical trader, you've clearly seen over the course of the last couple of years, I mean, we've seen a beautiful base here, and this is a very just awesome sign to see as a buyer. As you're looking at the weekly candle, so each one of these candlesticks represents 1 week. So we've historically seen from that 22 to that $20 level a lot of respect. And when you see such a volatile mover like this, be able to sit and marinate for 20 weeks at a time, defending that, then popping to $34. Once again, having a drastic pullback before another pullback to $34, then pushing right back before another very tight, about 12 to 13 weeks here, guys. Just really getting tight, trying to get that upside before pulling back. The short sellers continue to push us lower, and you did start to attempt to break beneath this ascending trend line. This is not a good sign at all, guys, for the buyers. You still have that $20 strong support, and that is the last line of defense. What if the buyers, as soon as we started to get to that $20 level, you've seen a massive upside with a very strong abnormal wide bar. Just a little bit more momentum here coming into the next week over that $23 level. I do think we're in a perfect situation for that liquidity sweep, where it does appear we're going to break down from a very big measurement point that has been held up for years for the buyer's base. You know, we see a little bit of panic to ultimately squeezing out. So anywhere above this level, I think is a strong liquidity sweep to at least push back towards that $28 level, towards that $30 level. There could be a lot more upside here. I genuinely wouldn't be shocked to see GME get towards long-term this $40 level if it continues this upside here with volume. And that's going to be a very big staple point for the biggest technical signal here. Do we continue to see volatility? And as of right now, very good sign from the strong support. A little bit more upside at claim above this buyer base. Man, we look really good here for a false breakdown into a short squeeze, at least towards $28. So we're going to go and set a $27 price target on the channel to that $28 level. There is some pretty decent resistance till that's a good point, but there is a solid measurement from there, about 20%, give or take. So that is a price target we'll set on the channel, and once that's broken above, that does open a lot of long-term opportunity. Alrighty, so with that being said, we're now flipping over to the daily analysis, and this is very good for the medium term within things. We have seen stock price be pretty uneventful for big durations. Once again, seeing about a good 12-week duration here, just building energy, but defending this level, which is very, important. I mean, you have to do that around this big level. Started to see the upside. Then the short sellers got that fake breakout over this high. Basing over appears to break out and then push back, ended up collapsing, and then you start to descend. As of right now, we're seeing that descending esque pattern here. Just a very clean channel being tested right towards the top with a lot of volume, and that's beautiful here, guys. You really want to see this volume pressure continue to snap up higher, and that is a pretty big tick here on the daily analysis here, guys. And that does add that little micro analysis, seeing this pretty nice buff up in volume, leading confidence that this can continue to build. And if that happens, $24.50, $25, these big levels will be hit very easily. And as of right now, it really is as simple as, do you think that stock price at this core level will sit here for 1 day, maybe 2 days, and then sit and then base out, or get the breakout immediately? And that is the two equations that as of right now, it is very 50-50. Perhaps the market does build accumulation energy at this core level before getting that pop. But I do think seeing this presence from this overall just kind of dry liquidity snap from this very nice green explosive activity, this is the buying strength that should shift this trend. Once again, guys, location. Notice how we exactly at that $20 level before reversing immediately. From a technical perspective, this is a very strong chart here, guys. Definitely do want to see upside over $23. That is the last line in defense to start to see a lot of liquidation from short sellers. And then over that 24.50, you're looking at a much more long-term breakout. Once again, we do have to wrap this up within the weekly, okay, as we are seeing a very long-term pennant structure, guys, a very clean bull flag, whatever you want to say, a descending triangle, overall very tight structure building over the course of the last few years. And the last time we seen that broken out gave a very beautiful, about a couple 100% upside here, guys. So if we see that more long-term upside here, guys, that does look good for a squeeze back towards potentially $30-40. So there's a lot of long-term, potential parabolic potential, but we have to see the short-term targets being taken out before you can set those price targets. So as of right now, we're going to stick to that $27 to that $28 price target. Prediction: expecting stock price to, within the next few days, break over this very obvious descending channel, start to creep up and, just gain over these levels, guys. I do think there's a lot of momentum to be had here. Keep an eye on the volume profile. If that continues to buff up, that's going to let you know how quick this will occur. Typically, GME can move relatively slow, but it does get the job done. Once again, we've seen historically these very strong dips from this pocket, leading at least towards $30, at least towards $35. So to call that $27, $28 short-term target is a very predictable and high accuracy price target we will set here on the channel. We're now looking at the hourly analysis. This is very good for the short-term perspective and things. You can really see the volume profile step up immediately once stock price has gotten down to that $20 level. Pretty grindy push down, just very slow movements here. Nothing too dramatic. When you see a big drop, you then see consolidation, spike back up before then using this energy to build lower, but not really meaningful movements here. Then we see the buyers use this base to eventually get that upside, and as of right now, it does appear that this very strong spike is enough to lead a more long-term movement. Perhaps this identical movement could occur, doubling up right towards $25 before cooling off. That definitely is a very live potential, guys. We could see an outright breakout coming into the next few, or the next trading day outright, right? The next trading day, the next two, or we could see stock price base between $21.50 and that $23 level. If that does happen, that still would be a bullish statement, as we are basing a higher low to now get that upside. As of right now, it is very much in the air. I would lean to about a 1 to 2 day cool off, maybe perhaps 1 day. If I had to splat on the money, call my shot, about a 1 day cool off into that breakout. But as of right now, the direction does show to the upside. Very strong technicals from the hourly analysis, seeing these pretty, strong hammer candles to end the day around this very core resistance, not showing much resistance at all, base to that with some strong volume. And this is very good for upside. With all that being said, we've now wrapped up everything together. The weekly analysis, the daily, and the hourly does look very, very good, right? All does point back to that $23 level for that short-term target to produce more upside, but it does appear the bulls should be able to easily get that breakout and get this nice price action. If you guys found any value in the video today, consider dropping a sub and a like. We'll continue to cover GameStop stock price about 1 to 2 times per week. I appreciate you all making this point of the video, guys. Thank you. Have a good one. Take care. Drink smart. And peace.